10 Cats, Johnny Vegas, Alex Sane, Jeremy Clarkson, James McQuillan, Jamelia, Josie Long, Tom Felton, Richard E. Grant, Yvette Fielding, Kelly Osborne, and their team captain, John Locke. And facing them tonight, Jack Whitehall, Ulrika Johnson, Alan Cumming, Lauren Laverne, David Walliam, Holly Walsh, Mark Watson, Claudia Winkleman, Reginald D. Hunter, Phil Spencer, and their team captain, Jason Manford. Now, welcome your host, Jimmy Carr.
Hello and welcome to a very special edition of 8 out of 10 Cats, where we'll be showing you the best bits from this series, as well as some outtakes. You know the drill. It's a show about opinion polls, surveys and statistics. Did you know, for example, the largest recorded gathering of people was 15 million at a Hindu religious festival in India? It was such a success, the 14 million survivors are thinking about doing it again next year. 18% of men admit not noticing if a girl changes her hairstyle. I should explain to those men that a girl's hair is part of the blur above where her breasts are. A doner kebab pot noodle contains 22% of a recently divorced man's recommended calorie intake. A teaspoon contains 120 drops of water. That's according to research by Professor probably from the University of... yeah, I reckon. And if you're watching in Norfolk, hello. I'm not being patronising. I just thought I'd show you what a normal hand looks like. Let's get started. What are you talking about? That's the name of our first round. Let's have a look and see what we've been talking about over the last few months.
Is it Big Brother? It's the 10th series now, and I've always been a fan of Big Brother, but there's been a few points where I think even the voiceover bloke sounds like he's getting a bit bored. Yeah. So one day I just want to turn it on and go, "Dear whatever it is in a Big Brother house." Yeah. One of them has said something that's upset the other one, but the other ones don't care.
Here's the thing, Davina, brilliant. The house, brilliant.
Who's your favourite housemate?
Well, then the problem is,
problem.
then they fill the nice, lovely house with the cool sofa and the, oh, you can come over here and make a smoothie with twats.
Are you... Sorry. Shri is not a twat. No. Shri is amazing. He's obsessed by this girl. He's obsessed by Noreen. He's in the same house as her as he's obsessed by her, so it's come in really handy. It's a stalker's paradise.
Was he stalking her before the show? I mean, that's incredibly lucky. If you're stalking someone and you both end up in the Big Brother house.
Lisa, the lesbian lady.
Is she a lesbian?
Yeah,
the one with the Mohican?
Yeah.
And the big...
She'd be sat there like this. She'd go, don't get me wrong, you know, with that girl's allowed, you know what I mean? I'd maybe do them, but I wouldn't do the ginger one, but I'd do the rest. I thought, none of them are going to have sex with you, you dirty great Lesser. What are you talking about? You'd be lucky to have sex with the ginger one.
James, are you watching Big Brother?
I don't actually watch reality TV. I think it's crass, to be honest with you. I think when you see these people who just, you know, lower their standards to go on to try and... on the off chance... On the off chance...
The irony. Did you get it?
I'm serious. On the off chance that they might get, you know, tapped up to go on some poxy Channel 4 show late at night on a Friday.
Probably got to be will Gordon Brown still be in a job in the next week or so? He's obviously got to be very worried. I'd be very worried if I had Hugh Edwards doing the news from outside my house. I think if you look outside your window and you see Hugh Edwards going, "Welcome to the 10 o'clock news," you've got to think, Christ, what have I done? There's a brilliant picture of him this week. Have you got a picture?
Oh, yeah, I've got the picture of him being held on the chin.
And it's very interesting because he's the Prime Minister. Someone's just reached out and... I mean, if that was Obama, they'd be mincemeat by now. He doesn't even stop him. I reckon you could walk up to Gordon Brown, pull his trousers open and pour custard down there. And after about a minute, the special services would go, "Actually, that's enough custard." He is the Prime Minister. He's coming out on his shoes, for Christ's sake. A bit of respect.
Jason, do you think Gordon Brown is doomed?
I think the Labour Party in general won't Well, they'll be here, but they won't be in power, I think. I mean, now all the MPs are in this rigmarole of... They're terrified, aren't they? And they're calling it expenses scandal. But let's call it what it is. It's theft, isn't it? That's what it is, theft. If we did it in our job, you know, I've taken a few of your suits home over the past few weeks. You know, I dressed my wife in them.
One good thing that comes out of this, if you're walking down the street and you see an MP with a Kit Kat, you're entitled to just go off and break off a bit. I paid for this. Yeah, this is even better with a pepper army because you can bend it over and then go, too hot.
Are they actually taking anyone's personal money?
Yes, ours.
Yeah, ours.
What have the nation been talking about?
Have you been watching a bit of the Britain's Got Talent?
It's gotta be Britain's Got Talent.
Subo,
she's gone mad.
Turned up at some singing do.
Yes.
Thrown some water. Tried to snog a cock. Shouted loads of abuse. And only now does it come to light that she's Scottish. Have these people never been on National Express? There's fucking loads of them. Moon River!
You shouldn't knock her, though, because also one of the things about... The reason Obama likes her so much is she's a very important weapon in the war against terror. Because young extremists are now thinking twice about blowing themselves up now they know what a virgin really looks like. They're going...
She's got some huge fans, though, because, and you'll appreciate this as a Twitterer, Jimmy. Demi Moore has been twittering her support all through this, saying how much she likes her. And I think that's because Demi Moore is smart. Because she's thinking, you know, when the looks go, I'll be able to play her in a movie.
They are actually doing a movie of her, though, aren't they? Of Susan Boyle's life. And
Yes, and I'm going to play her.
Madonna's been at it again. She's adopted another child, which is fantastic news for everybody.
If I could get adopted, I would get adopted by Billy Bragg. That's like my dream person to adopt me. If he's out there, just...
Do you have
I make
parents?
no trouble. Yeah, I've got parents. They're great.
Will they be watching this? Going, what, we haven't written enough protest songs. What do you want, love?
I would choose Adam Woodyatt.
Wow, people
He's
have
my
actually got this...
favourite celebrity. I interviewed him once. He's number one, smiley. Number two, charming.
This is Ian Beale we're talking about here.
Number three...
She wants Ian Beale to be her dad.
He just seems... He's very friendly.
They're slagging Madonna off in the paper, like, but she's going to make this child's life better. I mean, I'm from Manchester, and I'm doing all right for myself, but even she would make my life better, you know, so...
Yeah, if Madonna offered to adopt me, even at this point, I'd consider it.
I'd say so.
Yeah. She's probably got things like a jacuzzi.
Let's have a look and see whether Madonna adopting a baby is one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, this is the story that Madonna has adopted a second Malawian child. Already, Madonna's visit has passed into Malawian legend, specifically the legend of the scrawny witch that swoops down from the skies and steals children. No offence to any witches that we have in the audience. If we had any witches, I apologise. Anyone had green hair? So, for example, that one there. Jason, Holly and David, what else have the nation been talking about?
Well, it's got to be the
European elections,
isn't it?
Yeah. Got to be the European elections, isn't it, Jimmy?
No, it's just the BNP going over there taking all their jobs. It's
yeah.
pretty simple.
I don't understand why the BNP even want to be, you know, in the European Parliament, because they're always going to be sat next to foreigners, aren't they, all the time? You know? Unless that might cure them. They go over there and go, actually, it's quite nice, and the people are really friendly. Oh, what's that? Oh, croissant. I'm no longer a racist.
Someone threw an egg at him, didn't they?
Was it a British hen that laid the egg, do we know?
It was a brown egg that was thrown, and that's what hurt.
Somebody once threw an egg at me.
Someone once threw an egg at you?
Why did they do it? Is it because you're a
Can we all play together? No. What else have the nation been talking about this week?
Is it Gordon Ramsay's been making friends in Australia? Well, he was actually being told off by the Australian Prime Minister, wasn't he? He was called the lowest form of life. because he called a TV presenter a pig. He said she was a pig-faced woman. And I thought it's quite ironic, him calling someone a pig when his face looks like crackling. Burnt crackling. How can he go around delivering, insults about how people look? He makes Ronnie Wood look like Hannah Montana, doesn't he? When he shuts his eyes, it's like someone's put a chef's hat on a walnut.
OK, right. Sean, Kelly Reg, what else have the nation been talking about this week?
Sperm.
Sperm?
Yeah.
What have they been saying about sperm?
That they can genetically make sperm in a test tube now. I don't see the point in it, really, because we were saying it before, there's not exactly a lack of it out there.
Well, maybe in your world, young lady.
Basically, they've cloned a human sperm, haven't they? But all they've got to do now is get it down to scale, because currently it's quite big. It's like a live turbot.
It's been hot. There was a garden expert who said it's going to be the end of the English country garden. And I thought, that's sad, that, because I always enjoyed pulling down my pants and suffocating the ants all those times. Good fun.
What?
Yeah.
Say that again?
Good times. Pulling down your pants, suffocating the ants. You never do that? Pick up a leaf, wipe it underneath. You never did that, Phil? Squeeze out a log, blame it on the dog. You never did this, Phil?
Fingers on buzzers. One more thing to get.
Wimbledon. Wimbledon, Jimmy.
Go on, tell me more about Wimbledon.
Wimbledon is a time when people play tennis together.
Correct.
I like the grunting, though. That's where they earn their money, don't they? Yeah. The grunting, which they're trying to ban.
How can you ban grunting?
Shoot them. A blind bloke who normally hunts pigs, like that, sitting there, and he hears a...
To be honest with you, I think that's a ratings winner.
It is weird when you listen it when, like, I was watching a match the other day, and I had it on Sky Plus. So I was watching it about 1 o'clock in the morning. My wife was upstairs, and she could hear grunting coming from the telly. It's like, what are you watching? I was like, just the ladies playing tennis. That's all. Like, you know what I mean? Why is there a bass guitar making some music? I don't know.
Was the lady playing tennis going, oh yeah, big boy, oh.
Jason, Lauren and Alan, what other movies are people excited about seeing?
Terminator.
Yeah.
Terminator salivation or something.
Yeah.
That looks pretty good.
It's all been a bit hyped up because Christian Bale had that big tantrum as well. That got leaked. That was amazing.
Yeah.
You've acted with him, Richard?
I have, but 15 years ago on a film called Portrait of a Lady. He was very quiet and reserved, and it was on a movie when Nicole Kidman still had no lips.
So back in the olden days?
In the olden days, yeah. Before...
Did you think, as an actor, you get stressed, it's a hard day, and
Yeah, I think anybody gets stressed.
Yeah.
I'm sure that if we had to hear what was going on when Gordon Brown got all that stuff in the Daily Telegraph on a daily basis, can you imagine waking up to those reviews every day? You wouldn't be able to leave the door.
Reviews. You're such a lovely.
Another 3-star, Alistair. Another 3 stars.
What a film are people excited about seeing?
he had his hands over there. he had his hands over there where he's impressed. And I just went, bang! Bang! It was like a scene from Transformers. I was like, Transformers! Yeah! Answer the question.
Is it Star Trek?
He's done you! No. He's done you, Sean! He's done you! He's done you, mate! He's done me! Star Trek.
Have you heard Michael Jackson is dead?
Yes. I heard.
People have been talking about it because he's a controversial figure. I mean, if it's wrong to share your bed with 13-year-old boys, then lock me up and throw away the key.
It's coming out that his prescription drug use, that he used a lot of prescription drugs, 30 million pounds a year he spent on prescription drugs, Xanax, Zantac. What a lot of people don't realize is that Michael Jackson actually died 2 years ago, but he kept taking them drugs and we didn't know.
They found Xanax, Vicodin and Demerol in his house. I want to know what Geldof's kids were doing there in the first place. Welcome back to the best of 8 out of 10 cats. Here's our pick of Pick of the Polls. Sean, Josie and Jamelia, what do you like the look of?
Birmingham's got to be. And it better not be anything bad.
It's nothing bad about Birmingham.
Well, what's going to happen if it is? What are you going to do?
I'm going to beat
attack
him
him.
up. Yeah, I'm going to attack him.
Let's pick Birmingham. Hope it's bad.
Birmingham is a shithole. Why? No, it's not that. You've chosen Birmingham. OK. 25% of people from the Midlands have used what to seduce someone?
In Birmingham, everyone, like, smiles at each other and they say hello, even if you don't know each other. But then when I first came to London, I did that and they were kind of, like, looking at me like I was a weirdo.
I had the same thing, Jamelia, actually, coming down from the north. I remember getting to Euston and there was a fella reading, I think it was Da Vinci Code at the time. It was before it, you know, kicked off into the big success. And I sort of wandered over and I said, oh, is it any good, that? I've been fancying read it. He looked at me like I went, hey, mate, can I have a little tickle of your bollocks? Is that...
About the book. I'll give you a clue. It's something that I would associate with doing with your family.
Oh, Pictionary.
I'll give you that.
Ooh.
I'll give you that.
What?
No, I'll give you that. 25% of people from the Midlands have used a board game to seduce someone.
That's amazing.
Other successful seduction techniques in the West Midlands include wearing trousers, having a van with its own mattress, and not having sick down your shirt.
Are you married, Phil?
Yes, I am.
Do you remember in Heat magazine when you did an interview and the question was, have you ever been chatted up by another celeb?
Yes.
And do you know what your answer was?
Yes, very well.
What was it?
You.
When did I chat you up?
No, I was bidding for a dress.
Yes.
There was a dress that I thought my wife would look very beautiful in. Well, I heard this voice in my ear. Go on, Phil, you look really lovely in that. And I turned round laughing, spotted you, and there was a look in your eye. I thought, actually, he wasn't joking, was he?
Did you feel my erection as well?
How many people here have injured themselves drinking?
Yeah, loads.
What have you ever injured yourself with drinking?
Fallen down, I got my jaw broken.
By who?
By the bloke who ran the pub.
Technically not a drinking injury, that's more a violence-related thing.
Yeah, but I wouldn't have been there if I had been drinking. No. I wouldn't have been singing that song.
Most Brits have a hobby they're too embarrassed to tell their friends about.
What are you doing?
I think Sean's just... I think he's...
Oh, it's my hobby. Electronics. No, our telly's gone down, so I thought I'd fix it. It has actually gone down. That's my hobby. Having a bit
I
of
don't
fun.
actually think it's broken. It just says signal over range.
Well, it's black. The screen's completely black. I don't know what you expect from your television. I don't expect to see a picture. If you go, there's just, you know there's some electricity in it somewhere. That's not enough for me.
Kelly, if you had a real job, this is just a scenario, it's not going to happen,
real
no one's going to make you do a real job, what would you like to do?
Oh, is this a real job to you?
Yes, it is. Bringing joy to the nation.
Jimmy, and not forgetting scaring any children who are watching.
Get to bed, I'm coming to get you. Most Brits think there's no point trying to speak a foreign language while on holiday. Is that true or false? We've been on holiday together, haven't we, David?
Oh, yeah.
I've got a photo. Do you remember this?
I wanted to find the ugliest lady boy.
And there he is on the right.
I went with my friend Robin.
Yeah, I remember Robin,
Who is gay. My friend Robin is gay. I've got a gay friend. What of it?
That was a huge shock to all of us.
No, but we went to some straight sex shows, and he said, well, we've been to lots of straight ones. Can't we now go to a gay sex show? I went, oh, all right, then. And he took me to this show, and these men... Can I borrow you for a second?
No.
Phil, can I borrow you for a second? Phil, can I borrow you? No, because these men... This was all right, Phil. It's all right. These men got on the stage and they started... Phil, just bend over a little bit. So they went round to people's laps. Go lean over, Phil. And they started bombing. Lean over, Phil. They started bombing people. Look at that. I was shocked.
There's nothing you can do.
I was shocked and horrified, and I only stayed an hour.
And the winner is the name of our final round. Fingers on buzzers for more of our best bits. Worst film to see on a first date? Ow! Sorry. Tom, have you taken ladies to the cinema? What do you take them to?
Not so much to the cinema, but to films at home on the couch, bit of DVD, that sort of thing.
Did you ever show them Harry Potter? Like, a review in it? Is that like a first date, like a... Yeah.
That would probably be my worst film to see on a
that?
first date, yeah.
Yeah. Just watch yourself, love, because I can turn. Is the worst film on a first date Silence of the Lambs?
Yeah.
And then halfway through just keep whispering, that's not how you make a dress out of skin.
Top household convenience drivers would like in their car.
How about replacing the electric windows with sash windows?
And having a window box on the bonnet.
Yeah, it'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Got some
Little
nice
flowers,
flowers,
yeah, grow your own.
Yeah. Some curtains.
Oh,
So people
curtains,
can't
yeah,
see.
curtains, yeah,
People
no,
can't look
yeah.
in as they're going past. They can't look in on
Good
you.
for when you're dogging.
Yeah.
What about a...
I've always thought that would be the best Top Gear challenge, if you three went dogging.
We have quite a lot. James is really good at it.
Worst thing about nightclubs?
Slags.
No, it's worst thing.
No, there's never enough of them.
Never enough slags?
Slags.
I don't know what you lot are complaining about. You'd never get laid if there wasn't slags.
Good point, well made. Most hated chore?
Is it getting rid of soiled bedding?
Getting rid of what?
You know, like, soiled bedding.
Oh.
When it's not your house.
Oh, I'll just be with you in 1 second. Best way to get the attention of someone you fancy?
Is it become a guest panellist on a quiz show and then pretend to have anal sex with...
Women's dream way to be proposed to?
Is it outside Yates's? and you're holding her hair as she's having a little bit of a sick. Again, there's some places in Manchester where if you did that, you'd be quite the David Niven.
I didn't take any risks when I proposed. I put a note up the cat's arse. And when it went into the kitchen, I thought she'd go, what's that in the cat's arse? Will you marry? It's a bit smudged here.
I like the way that my husband proposed to me. Like, he proposed in front of people. I honestly think I probably would have said no if it was just like me and him. I'm going to actually try and answer the question. I'm just thinking, like, girly girls, probably, like, on bended knee at the top of the Eiffel Tower.
I'll give you that for the Paris, because women's dream way to be proposed to is actually on a romantic holiday. I thought it would be romantic to take my girlfriend back to where we first met, but she said, "Don't make me go back there, Mr. Jimmy. I cook, I clean, I'll be better." Well, that sound tells me it's the end of the show and the end of the series. So thanks to all our panellists, our wonderful studio audiences, and to all of you for watching at home. That's it from us. Good night.